What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy, having a great day so far, and I hope you had a great weekend. If you had to take a COVID test, a flu test, or a test for some other virus over the weekend, I hope you have tested negative. If you did test positive for any of the viruses, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long-term issues and no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Monday edition of the Virus Update for Monday, May 12th, 2025. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. This is where I do the daily virus update on all those viruses that can make us sick. Let's face it, there's a lot of viruses out there. Things are constantly changing with these viruses. You don't hear much about them in the news. You need to be informed with what's going on. That's what I do here on my channel just about every day to help keep you safe and informed of what is going on out there. Because let's face it, you really do need to know about these viruses. There may not be a lot of people interested, but you know what? This is something that's a threat to everyone. And this really can impact your health. These viruses can make you really sick. If you enjoyed today's update, give it a thumbs up. If you feel you want to be informed of what's going on with these viruses, subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell. Share these videos with anyone you know, and leave your comment down below. Already, we have a few news stories today. We have the weekly B&O numbers. We do have a couple other things in the news department, and then we are going to take a look at some daily data, Walgreens, and we'll end today with a few wastewater sites and something I'm thinking about doing here on the channel. We'll get to that when we get to wastewater. We've done it once before. All right, starting off in Kansas today with measles. Wichita Airport. Yes, there is possible measles exposure there. Yeah, this is not good. State health officials are warning travelers about potential measles exposure at Wichita's Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport earlier this month. According to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, individuals at the airport on May 2nd between 6:15 p.m. and 9 p.m. may have been exposed to the highly contagious virus. Yikes, yeah, that is not a good thing, and this is also not good. North Dakota, just about this time last week, announced their first case of measles for the year, first since 2011, and guess what? The number just continues to go up. 2 more measles cases have been reported, this time in Cass County, and the state's total is now up to 11. So this is quickly growing in a state that is not very populated, which just further gives me reason to believe that on the national level as a whole, I really think we are missing cases. If a small state like North Dakota just suddenly goes up to 11 cases, there's no way we're finding all the cases. Even if it's just a few cases we're missing, I think we're at least missing some cases. All right, Alice in Chains, popular band from the 1990s. Their drummer, yes, Sean Kinney, is dealing with an illness. They thought they would only have to cancel a show in Connecticut at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Yeah, things have gotten worse. I don't know what his illness is. Not seeing that in this article. Maybe something new has been released this afternoon. I don't know, but they're canceling shows for the rest of May. So this is not good. And I believe that is him in the picture. Yeah, not a good thing. Seen a lot of musicians come down with illness, canceling shows. We're only halfway through the year, and my list, it's getting pretty long. Datareport.info is my website. I have several different tracking threads, and one of the things that we track is musicians and performers who come down with illness. And yes, I believe I already added this last night. All right, here's the weekly B&O COVID update. It's not a bad update. I mean, we still have COVID. COVID did not end. It's not going to end anytime soon, and probably for many, many years to come. But we're still in a COVID lull, and these numbers do show that. Weekly U.S. COVID update. New cases, 68,200 estimated. Wastewater probably says it's higher than that. Admissions, 4,774 people in hospital admissions. And I should say this. Their cases that they get, I don't know how they come up with their number. I really don't. In the hospital, 4,889. So both admissions and the hospitalization number dropped. The hospital number, that drop is starting to slow a little bit, but it's still dropping. In the ICU, 661. Hey, that's down by 8%. New deaths, 362. The average is 420. Will deaths continue dropping? Probably, because the new wave hasn't started yet. And as you know, the lagging indicator, which is deaths, it's the last one, That doesn't start rising until a wave has started and the hospitalizations have started. So we may be a while before that number starts going up. But as you know, there could be a random week that's higher because sometimes states like to find deaths from previous years that they did not release before. They're like, oh, we just found 50 deaths in such and such state. Better add that in there. Yeah, it's been happening. I don't know why. It shouldn't be, that should not be a thing. When someone dies of COVID, that should be reported the week of, but it doesn't always happen that way. So far this year, more than 2.7 million COVID cases have been reported in the U.S., causing 192,861 hospitalizations and already 13,777 deaths. And as you know, there likely will be a summer wave at some point. We've seen hints of it starting here and there, and really all we're doing right now is just bouncing off the bottom. Yeah, we've had a few titles in the past where video says early signs. Well, this most recent CDC data shows that may have been erased except for the West Coast. All right, continuing on here. I do like to look at the variant picture from other parts around the world because, hey, we get viewers from all around the world. I wish I could show more data from other countries around the world. It's very hard to find data from other countries around the world, and sometimes it ends up being in a language I don't understand. Apologies about that, but in most cases, I can't find the data. But Mike Honey does it again. He always posts updates on X, and here we go. Here's the latest variant picture for Europe, excluding the UK, up to mid-April. And here's the interesting about this. The LP.8.1 variant took over dominance, growing steadily to around 43% frequency. The XCC variant fell to around 21%. Now, they're seeing something very similar, though be delayed, as to what's happening here. Now, the LP.8.1 variant did not cause a big wave here in the United States. Yeah, there were a couple localized small waves. New York City, New York State, good example of that. But the hope is they would follow what happened here in the United States and do not see a wave. We'll just have to wait and see. Only time will tell. And remember, the UK has had summer waves in the past as well. For Europe, excluding the UK, has reported some samples of the new XFG and XFJ recombinants, but at low frequencies at this time. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Now moving on to Dennis, the COVID guy. He has the New Zealand update for this week, and I think this is a much better way of looking at it than the dashboard that we normally look at because he shows the trends here. So New Zealand from May 5th to May 11th, new cases 359. That's down by 5%. Reinfections, 251. That's 69.9% of cases, I think that means. Deaths, 5. That's down by 28.5%. Total deaths, 4,648. That is up by 5. In the hospital, 34. That's up by 13.3%. Remember, they're in the fall, about to enter in winter over there. Should be expected to see a rise there. And again, reinfections were 69.9% of the cases. And he does say, sadly, 5 deaths were reported today. I recall a time where their rules were so strict over there, they had no visitors coming in, and they had hardly any deaths. And, you know, times have changed. All right, we got to talk about this for a moment, just real briefly. Spikes of bird flu in cats could be a warning of a future pandemic. Yes, there have been cases of bird flu in cats, and, you know, that is a problem. There's been bird flu in a lot of different animals. Take a look at this map. We're not going to read every single one here, but this map shows different detections of, you know, highly pathogenic avian influenza in various different animals. Remember about a year or so ago, a whole bunch of different animals were popping up. Rodents, skunks, bears, raccoons, wildcats, you know, a whole bunch of different things. And, you know, it could still be happening. And we're just not hearing about it right now. It's very possible because we are in we're in a data outage at the moment. So, it's concerning. Haven't heard any new cases of cats lately, but again, possible data outage. And you know, if you have house cats that you let outside, we do let our cat out in the yard. I keep it very supervised. I'm always there watching him when I let him outside. He's not allowed out by himself. Our cat's 19 years old. Can you believe it? So, I don't let him go near birds or anything. I keep a very close eye on that. But, you know, in some cases, people let their cats out. And, you know, they don't watch it, or the cat stays out for the night, and maybe it goes near bird or bird feces. Hey, that could be a way that the cat gets bird flu, and it could be passed on to humans. And yeah, you know, it's something that we still have to consider. Bird flu at some point could become a future pandemic. All right, taking a look at this, birds in migration. Yeah, wow. Does that go over 600? It almost gets over 600 million birds at a given point during the day. That's a lot of birds, which means probably nearly a billion birds migrated today. That is just really impressive. And it was among the majority of the country. Here's my website, datareport.info. Let's just check something here real quickly. List of performers sick in 2025. I did put Alice in Chains drummer there. If I find anything else, I'll let you know. Hey, look at this. We're already at page 4 now. Mind you, there's also some banter talking in there. In other words, meaning some responses that have been given to a few posts, so that makes the thread a little bit longer. Nonetheless, the list is growing, and summertime's coming, and there's also that a lot of times that summer wave of illness. Hey, heat-related illnesses, that does happen at these shows, so yeah, there could be a lot of things that pop up here in the near future. We're not even halfway through the year yet. June would be the halfway point. And I'm concerned how long this list is getting. Nothing else really to show you here today. I don't think I'll get to updating anything. If I do, it's going to be late tonight because I am working this evening, which, by the way, reminder, that is going to make me a little bit slow in approving those comments this evening. All right, up in Canada, this is from Friday. I think it's going to update again tomorrow. COVID-19 activity level is low. Flu A is moderate. Flu B is moderate. RSV is moderate at this time. Air qualities for today. Now, you may see a little bad air quality indicator over Philadelphia right now. I just noticed a little bit ago, we had a car fire on one of our expressways. That may make some of the air quality sensors in Philadelphia just briefly go bad. Yeah, look at that. Right near where that was, on our infamous, horrible road, Schuylkill Expressway. Yeah, there's a little bad air quality. But in general, yeah, there's a lot of yellow going on here today. I think that's going to get cleansed over the next couple of days because it's going to rain. But as you know, I've said this in the past, sometimes the sensors do get tainted when it rains. I've noticed that happen on a number of occasions. A lot of orange in the West Coast today. I'm hoping wildfires are not starting up. Take a look up here in Alberta, Canada. That looks like that could be the sign of a wildfire. I'm going to have to look into that. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a note of that. Look into that. If I get some time, I'm waiting for a delivery or something this evening. Yeah, that definitely looks like it could be a wildfire. If anyone's from Canada down below or has seen anything, post in today's comment section down below. Do we have a wildfire ongoing in Alberta right now? And if we do, if I see someone post it, if I see something on X, or if I find something, I will share that into tomorrow's video. Because as you know, in past years, since we started this channel, that becomes a problem, and we get the wildfire smoke issue that comes across the country. And I think some of these areas did not get a lot of snow. I know the West Coast did, but I don't know about Canada. All right, moving on. Pollen levels today, tree pollen levels. Further north you get, things are starting to get worse. Yeah, starting to make its way into New England now. The Central Plains and Northern Plains, you're about at the peak of your tree pollen now. And tree pollen's really bad in the Northwest and parts of the Four Corners region. It's already peaked in the South, but you're going to get that ragweed soon. You're going to get that grass pollen. And take a look at that. I can see here, that grass pollen map. Yeah, that's not doing well at all. Wow, look at that. Really bad in the Texas today and the South. All right, moving on to heat-related illnesses for today. Yeah, we got some problems with that today. We're just going to quickly look at this because we want to get to Walgreens, which, hint, stick around. Walgreens positivity rate went up this week. Oh, take a look at this. Moderate to major heat-related illness issues in portions of the Northern Plains today. We do have this upper level low that is in the southeast U.S., and behind that there is some heat. So that could be what's going on up there. And look at this. Parts of the Southwest dealing with some issues as well. And southern Florida. Pinellas County, Florida today. A few sick person calls and a few other things. Much busier than it was yesterday. Philadelphia. Did I update this? Sunday. 752 EMS incidents. That is below 800. I don't know if today will stay below 800. The burbs surrounding Philadelphia, just the outside areas. Yeah, towns and counties. Yeah. Montgomery County up to 18 incidents right now. And just before I started this, and you can kind of see there in the image, Chester County was really bad. Let's refresh this. Is it still really bad? Not as bad as it was, but more than enough calls. Yeah, it's not good. Any calls, too many calls. Cardiac arrest going on in one area. A sick person, there's 3 of them. There were like 5 or 6 of them 20 minutes ago. So, yeah, there's calls going on. And let's see what's going on with the EMS. I did not refresh this. Oh, my. Look at all these yellow. That's a lot of hospitals dealing with problems in Pennsylvania. St. Luke's Monroe campus, overcrowding. Easton, overcrowding. Behavioral health issue there as well. They got a double whammy there. Anderson, St. Luke's, overcrowding. Behavioral health issue at WellSpan York. And also a overcrowding. Yeah, look at this. Wow. On and wow. We have not seen this many hospitals in Pennsylvania with issues since the winter wave of virus. Look at the Lehigh Valley. That's a lot of yellows. That's really concerning, my friends. Don't need to take a look at Pennsylvania dashboard today. That will update tomorrow. I hope New Jersey is better. Cooper University Hospital, full inpatient volume. Yikes, that's not good. Inspira Medical Center, Mannington and Mullica Hill, both dealing with problems. University hospitals dealing with problems. Yikes, that's not good. And you know what? Heat-related illnesses, they're not too far away. That's going to add even more pressure to the hospital. And some's probably saying, is it COVID that's causing this? I don't think so, but take a look at this. Here we go to Walgreens. The positivity rate for COVID this week, 15.5%. That is up 1% from last week. Testing did drop. 1,949 total tests versus 2,235. You're seeing a lot of red here. We're just going to do a few states. Let's look at Pennsylvania, since the question does come to mind. Could COVID be causing more volume at the hospitals? Well, testing is down here. It's 28 tests versus, actually it's 12 versus 28 last week. That's up by 17.9%. We're just not doing enough testing in Pennsylvania. That is a problem. North Carolina, 88 tests versus 98, 15.9% positivity rate. That is up by 4.9%. Texas this week. Take a look at this. Come on. Texas, 17.9%. Testing is down. That's up by 2.7%. Now, here's one state that is concerning. Wisconsin, 13.9% positivity rate, 5.9% last week. That is up by 8%. And yeah, 36 tests versus 34. Testing went up. Positivity rate went up by 8%. You're not doing enough testing. California, 19% positivity rate. That's up. Testing is down. That's up by 3.9%. Washington, 11.4%. Good news here. Your positivity rate dropped by 1.9%. Nebraska, 14.3%. You only did 7 tests this week. You need to do more testing. Taking a look at what's going on in Georgia, the positivity rate is 6.4%. That went down. And testing went down by 3.3%. Taking a look at Tennessee this week, 11.9% positivity rate. We'll take a look at some more Walgreens stuff again tomorrow. You know what? Actually, real quickly, let's take a look at Michigan, because I know I'm going to get asked about that. Michigan, the positivity rate is 15.8%, up by 7.8%. Your testing's down, 38 versus 50. You're not doing enough tests. It could be cases are just bouncing off the bottom at this point, as I like to say, meaning it's not dropping anymore, it's not rising, it's just bouncing around there. New York State today, 384 new cases, and the hospitalizations there in New York State, 453. All right, let's take a look at wastewater. There's something new here I think I'm going to start doing more of on the channel. We did it once last week. I think the YouTube algorithm liked it. If I see a concerning wastewater site that needs attention, I'm going to do a YouTube short. It's not going to be every day. We're going to do it maybe a few times a week. And we'll see. Do you like that? Let me know down below. Would you like to see a YouTube short of just a random wastewater site that is relatively concerning to help bring awareness of what's going on in that area? Now, as we know, wastewater scan can sometimes show something concerning, and then it can update. But you know what? It's good to bring awareness because, hey, what if that's correct? And COVID levels or some other virus is doing concerning things in a particular area. Well, you need to be informed of that. Let's take a look at Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on there? COVID is low at this time. RSV is low. Influenza A is low. Influenza B is low. HMPV is low, but that's rising. And if they recalculate that, that may come up medium. EBD68 is low. And norovirus is medium. Hepatitis is also medium with some detections at this time. Let's go out somewhere in the West Coast. Let's see what's going on in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas at this time, COVID is low. RSV is low. Influenza A is low. Influenza B, it's going up slightly. It is also listed at high. Low for HMPV, EBD68. Norovirus is still medium. Some detections of hepatitis at this time. Let's continue on here. Let's go to somewhere in the south. Last week we saw a concerning wastewater site in Florida. And that was one of those ones that we did do the YouTube short. Let's take a look at it. Northwest St. Petersburg. It's not as concerning anymore. It's dropping now. But in case things were bad there, we saw a lot of sick person calls last week. You were informed of what happened there. That's the goal of my channel, to bring awareness and keep people informed ahead of the game. COVID's medium, dropping slightly. RSV is low, influenza A, influenza B, HMPV all low at this time, EVD6A is low. Norovirus is still listed at high, and that very well may be correct. Everything else is fine. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's virus update. If you enjoyed today's update, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know. Leave your comments down below. Again, quick reminder, let me know if that's something you want to see and anything else you have to comment on here. Do so down below. But I am going to advise you, I may be late in improving some of these comments. I'm going to be out working for the good part of this evening for many hours, doing my day in reverse. Alrighty, thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone. Have a fantastic Monday evening. Take care.